Hey everyone, it's hwsteele. It has been a while, hasn't it? I don't think I've done an instructional video since last year. Not one that I've released anyway, to the general public here on YouTube. So I figured it was time for me to go ahead and start doing that again. Stop ignoring my public YouTube channel and give you guys some more stuff that you can play around with. Now here's the thing. None of this is trading advice, so please don't take it like that. None of this is guaranteed to do anything for your trading except possibly confuse you even more. But there's the offhanded possibility that this might help you in some way, maybe. But it all depends on you, how you use it. If you can control yourself and if you have good money management skills right now, then maybe something along the lines of what I'm about to show you can help you. But this is not a magic bullet. This is not going to help you if you can't trade now, but it's something to look at. And it's about pitchforks. Now, I love pitchforks. I've used pitchforks for a long time. I used to have videos on YouTube about the 5-swing pitchfork method that I used to use. I have not used that method in a long time. That's why I took those videos down. Although I'm thinking about possibly putting them back up because I've had people ask me about those. So if you want me to put those videos back up, leave a comment in the section, the comment section down there. And if I get enough requests, I'll go ahead and post them back up. But anyway, that's beside the point. What I'm going to show you here is something. I don't use this particular method because this method gives 4 price time targets, okay? And there's a way to narrow that down to 2 price time targets where it becomes much more helpful. Now, the accuracy rate on this is probably 8 to 9 times out of 10 price will move through one of these 4 price time targets when you find a good market. Like this market right here, this is Tesla. I love Tesla. Big swings. This is current as of today, which is, let's see, August 11th, 2018. So this is a really good market that I like to use this method on. You can find other ones just by testing it out. Some markets it'll work okay on, some markets it just won't, it just doesn't work very well. But this is a 100% geometry based price time target method, okay? No need for a square 9, a hexagon chart, or any of that kind of stuff, Fibonacci, none of that stuff. Just a couple of pitchforks, a horizontal line and a vertical line. And then it will give you 4 price time targets, sorry. And then if you really think about it and you want to play around with this, you might be able to finesse the methodology into something that you are able to narrow it down to just 2 or even 1 if you're really good targets that are fairly accurate here. But anyway, let me show you what I'm talking about. This is a pitchfork. You pick any place you want to, like just randomly I'll pick this place, this low, this high, and then this low right here. So that's our first pitchfork right here. Now the second thing you do is you use 2 pitchforks for this method. You lay your second pitchfork right on top of your first one, but you start it 1 swing back or 1 swing before you started this one. So because this is a low, we have to find the high, and there's the relatively the high that comes before it that's approximately the same size of the swings. So that's one we're going to use. And you put point 1 of the second pitchfork right there. Point 2 and point 3 of your second pitchfork are actually going to be in the identical place as your first one. So what we have here are 2 pitchforks laid over each other. One points up and then the other, in this case, points sideways. Okay? See that? Pretty cool, huh? Now the next thing we do is we put a vertical line at the node, or the point where lines cross each other. That's what a node is, just in case you didn't know that. Right here at the furthest lines crossing each other, or the furthest out in price, right there. And then we create, let me see, our forecast area. I'll use an ellipse and basically make it something along that size right there. And then let me copy it. And you place your first one here on this nodal point. Place your second one, because remember I said there's 4 target areas, on this nodal point. can't get it perfectly centered because it's snapping to the candles that are already there. You would be doing this out in the future, I hope, once you learn how to do it. Copy the ellipse, and then the third point is right down here. So in this case, we can't draw a fourth point, and I'll show you why in the next example. Okay. But you see that price, let's see, this swing right here is what we drew off of, and then obviously this swing for our second fork. So price had to be probably somewhere around here. So it gave you a couple of weeks of advance possible price time targets into the future. So in other words, there was a possibility of forecasting these several weeks in the future. And we see that price made it right smack through this one right here. So let me delete all drawn objects, and I'll draw another pitchfork forecast setup. We'll use let's see, that high, this one, and this one right there. Now I'm going to draw the second fork, the swing before it, and then the same two swings, so it looks like this. Okay. Excuse me. Now you draw the vertical line right here at the node furthest away, and then remember previously I said we couldn't create our fourth target. Well, the reason was because our second pitchfork was perfectly horizontal, and our fourth target is created by putting a horizontal line at the bottom like this, or the top, just depends on which angle the second pitchfork is moving at. So now we create our target areas, something like that. Copy that, and then our first one's going to be here, our second one will be here. I'm not going to take the time to do that. The third one will be up there, and then our fourth one is going to be right here. Now this brings up a good example. Let me delete these pitchforks. Bump, bump, and I guess this line too. You see how price did not touch the node right there? The node was right smack in the middle there pretty much, but it came right at the outskirts right here, actually right there also. That's why you want to use a price window, because a lot of times the exact node, the price will move through it, but sometimes it misses it by a day or two or a candle or two, because this works on intraday and weekly and monthly charts also. Excuse me. So we had a success right here in our fourth price time target area right there. So let me delete that. Let me go ahead and do a big one here. I'll use this top, this bottom, and that top right there. Then I'll use this, this, and this, right? Now here's our furthest nodal point right here. So that's where I'm going to draw the vertical line. So we know now, because this is all hindsight obviously, I'm not going to put all, whoops. There we go. Move ellipse. There we are. We know that our price time target right here was hit, and that's not perfectly centered, but it would be, because you'd have blank screen that's snapping to these candles, which theoretically wouldn't be there, right? Right. So we have these swings right here. So we have actually months before our targets are going to, our time frame is going to be hit. And we have the target, this one right here, the price moves handily through that particular target. So you want to give yourself 2-3 days on either side of it, or 2 or 3 candles. I like to create the circles so that it gives about a width of about 4 or 5 candles, because that catches it. And like I said, it almost always catches it with these 4 targets with this methodology. And if you really work at it, you'll probably figure out how to narrow it down to just 2. But like I said, that's beyond the scope of this particular video. So anyway, this is one of the evolutionary steps, so to speak, that I took in using the pitchforks. I use a variation of this method now that's more accurate than what I just showed you. But hopefully it'll give you some ideas of the kind of stuff that you can use pitchforks for also. You can't, it's not just going to be price levels and support and resistance, but you can create time and price targets with these things that have a very high reliability rating. And I mean, sure, you have 4 spots that price could move to, but there's, like I said, there's ways to narrow it down. So anyway, the video is about 10 minutes long now. I'm going to go ahead and end it here. Hopefully you found this useful in some form or fashion if you're interested in using the pitchforks. The next video I'm going to be recording, I'll be doing later, probably later today, and releasing it about the middle of the week here, which would be somewhere in the neighborhood of August 14th or 15th. So I will talk to you guys in the next video.